Mr. Easy, Mr. Eztevan. I understand that the weather was a problem for you coming out to your lessons today in person. That's totally fine, as it would be. I've actually got some blue sky peeking out now, which is great, and my drive is drying out, which is great too, and nobody got stuck today, so all good things. It's been a good day all around, but I do miss your little smiling face. Good news is, you should be able to watch this lesson and practice along with it with your glasses, which will be helpful too, okay? I know this is your first YouTube lesson. One of the benefits of this YouTube lesson is that you can pause it, try things out, come back to it later, right? You can watch it over and over again. If I make a funny face, then you can pause it. You can be like, and hit pause and screenshot and send it to all your friends or something. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that, but whatever makes you happy. So I have this shot where you can see my face, but I also have this other handy shot because you can kind of see my cord and my mic pull here over my shoulder, and I do this and you can see the keys and you can see my hands playing the keys and you can see the very bottom of the music, my iPad and my phone. Your mama just texted me a minute ago, right? To make sure, see how all of this works. And you can say, I don't know if Miss Amy really does this lesson live. You can look at the clock, right? I can't get my hand to go the right direction. It's right there with my elbow. Where my elbow is. There. Ah, yay! It says it's 7:01 and your lesson is at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. So congratulations. I do your lessons live. So, when you can't be here, I just pretend I was always good at make-believe. What can you say? All right. So there were two things on my notes from last week, the little river flowing, and especially the Star Wars, because the Star Wars is the most important. I mean, like, hello. So what we're going to work on first is the most important, the Star Wars. Also keep in mind, this lesson will not be 30 minutes. 30 minutes of me talking is probably too much. You'll get a little bored, right? Because you're not here to ask questions or interact with me. I just tell you everything, and usually I can do that in 10 or 15 minutes without getting you totally lost, okay? Do feel free to come back and play along throughout the week. That's one of the benefits of having this, and so make use of it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch to my other view here. And I'm going to see if I get too much glare or if it'll adjust. It's adjusting okay in my lens shot here. Okay, I'll give it just a second. So this is my screenshot of Star Wars because it's what I've got with our X'd out things from your copy from last week, right? And your mom was very nice and sent me one as well, okay, to double check. Now, when you're playing this, I'm going to play the first part of it. I'm going to play all of this to the black line so you can double check with yours. And then I'm actually going to jump down and I'm going to teach you this part today. This part at the bottom of your page, not this stuff in between. Not doing this today, doing this. This is the next hardest place. So let's tackle things in the order that they are difficult, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the beginning of this one because it sounds like there were some questions about it, right? So I'm going to find my hand position and I'm going to play slowly so that you could play along or you can follow along in your music. So here we go. We're going to have 1, 2, ready, play. Now, when I played that one for you, You can see how my fingers cross, and that can be very helpful. You can't really do that in a regular lesson, so there are benefits to this. There's a big downside too, because you might be saying, Miss Amy, I have a question, and you're not answering my question. Sorry. Or you might be saying, I know that, move on, right? And you might be saying, I don't get a fistful of Skittles at the end of this lesson. No! Okay, because I can't digitally send you Skittles through the phone, or everybody would be doing it, right? That would be crazy. But there are benefits to having this because you can follow along and you can see. So remember, when you get to this one, you want to play this C. Now I am folding up all of my fingers and just playing this one. Do I really recommend that? No, I don't really recommend that. But when I do this, it's hard to see what I'm doing. So it's more about the lens shot, but I want you to have your hand out and comfortable. But I want you to also know it's your second finger that plays that note, okay? So this is right, but this one is clearer to see on the video, all right? So since you're not going to make a video out of your playing, rats. You relax your fingers and play it that way or that way, not like that, okay? So, hopefully hearing it and being able to watch my fingers, there's even some things on YouTube where you can slow it down, and then my voice will sound really funny, right? Go back through it, pause it, and double check, and you should be in pretty good shape. Now, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip down to that bottom part. In fact, if you're not sure how to find it, it's going to be the last line of music. You can kind of see there's some glare. Yeah, it kind of takes the shadow out when I put my hand there. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of music. And we're going to be starting in the 4th line. And it's not that part, okay? It's the last. It's the G, G where we're starting. So it's not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 notes of this line of music, it picks up after that. Okay. So the last two notes of this measure, and then all of the last measure, is what we're going to be playing today. Why have I chosen this? Because seeing it and being able to replay it is going to be more beneficial this way than in a regular lesson. So let's make sure that we do it that way. When you get down here to that last part, it is going to be G, G, okay? And you'll notice that we started out in this position where G is being played by your 4th finger, but now G is being played by your 2nd finger. It actually switches at this spot in the music, nowhere else, okay? So we're just learning it separately. You'll see why in a moment. So move your 2nd finger to G, and then you're going to have G, G, C, black key B, black key A, regular G, regular F, black key E, white key, C. Woo! That's a lot of moving around, right? Okay, so we're going to do that again. Now, when I say black keys, that is the simple term for them. We would call this B flat, and that's that little symbol in your music that looks like the little B. A flat, G, F, E flat, D, and C, okay? Without me playing, I'm going to speak through them. You have G, G, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, and C. This is a strange kind of a scale, but it's important. Now I'm going to play it. Right? Can you hear it? Da, 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 da. right? It's that part of the song. Now, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to explain how your hand crosses over. So we start with the G, G, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, but then we've run out of fingers, right? And so in order to finish out the line, when you play the F, we call it a pivot or a crossover. And so the thumb ends up on the bottom, the wrist comes over, and third finger ends up sitting right above that E flat. As you play the E flat, see how my wrist comes over and now my hand's in the other position. Okay, so you have pivot, don't go from here to jump and try to find them. Hold the F, rock over and play E flat, and then you're in the new position. Now, it doesn't have the G at the end of your print, but it should be there. So you could write a G in after that C just next to it. You don't have to put it on the staff. You can just write the letter G sitting over next to it, like, let's see if it will do for me. Mark up. Oh, I need the other camera angle. There we've got it. Lots of glare from the ceiling. Lamp. Better. Okay, so we're talking about this C, and right here you can write the letter G. Like that. And make sure that you play it also. Okay? And then it kind of goes back to the beginning, okay, after you've got that. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to play that passage again. I'm going to try to hold this up where you can kind of see it. Lots of glare, lots of glare. Ah, I don't know. It's floating. It's flying. That's about as good as I can get it. Is from right here. Da, 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 da. And then you go da 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 da. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, so I'm gonna play one more time. And that's how we'll end it. When you've played all the way through, we'll do the double C at the end. Instead of going on to the da 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 again, right? Because there has to be an ending. So when it's all wrapped up, then we'll do that as the end. And that works, okay? It does have the and we will do that once, but it has to end somewhere, okay? So make sure that you're working on that. Now, I'm almost out of time because there's only so much that you can process from a YouTube video, and your brain will be like, okay, I'm good, really. All right, so this little river flowing, you probably haven't been working on too much because, hello, Star Wars. So I'm just going to play it through for you so that you can have a source to double check it. You have access to Piano Maestro, so if you're not sure you're playing the correct notes, fire up Piano Maestro. It may tell you that there's some new stuff in there because they've updated it, and that's fine too, okay? So this is the hand position for Little River Flowing. I know that because it says so. Okay? And here we go. That means that your right hand plays rest, rest. So it goes up and then it comes down, right? All right, your left hand does rest, 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 and then it goes. Wow, that left hand is super hard, right? Okay, so I'm going to play it one more time, a little slower. And remember, you can go back and double check it throughout the week. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go with. There's that echo we talked about. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? If yours sounds like that, then you'll be able to get a sticker next week, no problem, and we'll move on to quiet thoughts. This week, I thought it was important to go ahead and review those things, give you a new Star Wars goal. If there's any question that you have that comes up during the week, let me know. Keep in mind, in-person lesson next week, you need to bring the first 2 pages of your theory test. The theory test you can find links to. Remember, go to that resource online. Your mama doesn't have to know anything about how to take a theory test. All she's got to do is set you up online with the current students page. Go to current students. I'll show you this way. Okay, so this is noteworthyacademy.com, current students, and then you scroll through and there's the 3rd grade. Here is the link to all of the videos. You tap that and you get me telling you how to do as I stutter. Me telling you how to work all of those questions. The next one down is a link to the actual practice test that I am working in this one. So if you don't have page 2 yet, you can get it here. Or if something happens to page 2 or you need to work it again, you can get it here. Here are the ear training questions. I'll explain those a little bit later. You can tap them. They correspond with questions 16, 17, 18 on that test. Here's a worksheet that the state produced. I almost never use that worksheet, but it's there, and I wanted to go ahead and give you all the resources that I had. And here is another version of the test. So same questions, but different. Instead of asking for a D, it might ask for a G. You'll understand as we go along. And here's another version of the test also. This is going to give you, these are all the resources that I have. You click on those and it gives you an opportunity to take the test several different ways to make sure that you really know what they're going to be asking of you to be super, super prepared. If for some reason you didn't pass this time, it's not the end of the world. In fact, you can have another opportunity to take it again in February. You tweak a couple things and you pass then. I think I really haven't had trouble with students not passing the theory test before, but we've never done the YouTube format. So keep all those things in mind. It's a good experiment, and we're going to see what happens. I really think it's going to work very well once you actually start taking it along with the videos. So this week, do those things, but also make sure that you make time each day to work another question on the theory test. If you have any questions after you watch the video and you solve them, then I'll be more than happy to work them in your lesson. Your mama doesn't know and she doesn't have to, okay? So hopefully that will solve all of that for you guys. I will get this video uploaded and sent out to you. Obviously, you'll see it when you see it. And I will see you in person next week.